Hi, Dennis Hall with LearningTemplates.com. This video is just highlighting the new features that are in BackPack 1.3.0. The features include a voucher-based login, which is quite different than the one that LifterLMS natively has. So let's go ahead and let's sign up and let's take a look. The first thing, just so you know, you don't have to remember your password. So let's just test user at email.com. So I don't care what my email is because I'm not even going to look at the email, and I'll put in the voucher code. Let's go ahead and register. Once we're registered, we will be directed back to here, and it says you are registered successfully. Please check your email information. But watch this. So now, now that we've just come back to the screen automatically, and I haven't checked my email. So let's just go ahead and let's log in. Now that I've logged in, I'm going to go to my first available lesson. In the course, I've been enrolled successfully into the course, and we're done. So I haven't had to go check my email. I haven't had to do anything. In fact, I put in a garbage email account that I can't check. So that's it for that. Now that we're in the course, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the next item. Here we have the LifterLMS member comments. It's evolved. It's evolved into a whole new creature. So now LifterLMS member comments is actually a live chat. So what I'll do is I'll quickly get us into an incognito window, and I'll log in as another user. So I'll just use the sign in again, and I'll do test user. And now that I'm logged in, I'm back in the same thing as well. So let's go ahead and let's chat together. So it's an Ajaxified chat system, which is basically member comments, and there's the chat right there, and now there it is over there. And this user can reply within the scrolling chat area. And it'll show up over here, and there it is there. So you can see it's a fairly live chat system. Now chat has a number of different abilities to it as well. It's quite configurable. So if I were to if I was logged in as an administrative user, you would find that I have a shortcode that looks like this for this chat window. TB equals 1 means turn the toolbar on. Inst equals 2 means this is the second chat window in this course. In this case, it's the first one. So inst equals 1. This would be inst equals 2, and we might have inst equals 3 or 4. You can have unlimited chat windows in the same right into your course and lesson. And then finally, there would be height equals, let's say 300, meaning the height of the history area is 300 pixels high. So that's what this chat instance would look like. The next one down below might look like pretty well the same thing, except it would have a different instance number, and it might have a different height. So let's say 200 for the height there. And if I had a third one, I would do that. In this case as well, by the way, TB equals 0. There is no toolbar available in this chat like that one. So you can turn them on, off, and put as many as you want in the same lesson. So that's the next item. that has been released as well. Finally, we also have student notes. Student Notes has been a product available for quite some time. However, what makes Student Notes more interesting now is that it's just a lot more configurable, and now you can also use Student Notes outside of LifterLMS posts and posts. So now Student Notes allows you to put notes anywhere you want. Here we have also a formidable form that is, when I submit it, it will complete this lesson that I'm in. And there is no mark complete at all that will show up. So you can see that it completed the lesson, and in this case, mark incomplete is there because there is no mark complete button. And you can hide the mark incomplete. This is the LifterLMS native mark incomplete button. So if I mark it as incomplete, and by the way, it just redirected to the next lesson automatically. There's a 5-second wait period. So what I'll do, I'll quickly log out, and I'll head back to the control panel after I log in as my administrative user. And I'll take you through a tour on what all the options are. And you may have noticed there's a bunch of text, by the way, that kept on changing below the login area and above the course catalog. And I'll just briefly step you through that text as well. That text was dynamically showing up because user guest role shortcodes are there. So basically all you do is copy and paste whatever you want here, and you can put anything in between these shortcodes. So anything, you could put images there, you could put your course in there and put it on a public page. And the reason you can do that is because later, in a later release, I've got all kinds of pieces of LifterLMS navigation and stuff that you can basically put. Now here, this list here is automatically generated by BackPack for you. What it does is I go and I find all the roles that are in your system, and then I create a shortcode that for you to just copy here that automatically lets you post anything you want in the website based on the shortcode that's in your system. So these are all the based on the user role in your system. So these are all the user roles currently in my development platform. And if I just copy any of these, I will basically be able to paste them and put anything I want on any page I want, anywhere I want, whether it be in a lesson or anything like that. And with that as well, I will be able to simply put anything I want and show it to any type of user. There is also a user first name and last name shortcode that is part of this as well, and I have not identified them there. I'll update 1.3.0 to 1.3.0.1 later this weekend and add those in so that they'll be easy to find. So there's member comments. Now member comments here shows you here what your options are and how you can basically make use of them, and it shows you what each of the instances and such mean. The user guest roles, we've shown that. Student notes is a little bit more powerful now. As I was saying, it can be put on any page or post. At the same time, you can enable or disable the notify instructor and change the label on it. So let Dennis know as well. So a student note, student notes for LifterLMS is not just a personal note-taking device, which is able to be put on any page or post. It's also a instructor notification system. And with student notes as well, you can also hide the toolbar so that the student could not do fancy text or anything if you want. So you just save that, and then when you go into student notes, you would, for example, copy that shortcode, put it anywhere that you want in a page or post again, and so what I'll do here, in fact, here it is here. So here I have the student note turned on, but you'll notice I've turned off the toolbar. So if I go back to BackPack, and I turn on that toolbar for student notes by unchecking the box, now I can just go back to that page and the student notes is going to have the toolbar available. And there it is there. So now the student can do that. Now student notes also comes with all my entries, and it comes with historical entries, which you'll see under here where it says there are no notes. So let's go ahead and let's just make a note, and we'll style it and do whatever we want. Give it a heading 1 and just do whatever we want. And student notes can be maximized to be full screen for the student and such. And let's go ahead and let's just, I won't, I'll say, sure, I'll send myself an email about it. So now we have the student note, and it says the note has been added successfully. If we take a look, it does also say that a note was added on this, at this time on this day. And if I go to here, I can see that a note was added as well. Now I've got all three on the same page, but typically you're going to see the all my entries might be on a different page than all my entries here. And what's interesting too is that with these, you can also go, if you're on a page, you can go and you can download the note or even delete it here. Now if I delete this, now when the instructor clicks on the link in the email, the instructor will get to a page that says that the note was deleted. So that's that. We then have LifterLMS Widgets, which on this page I'm not really representing it very well, but let's go ahead and head off to a course page. And what we can do is we can take a look, we can edit the widgets here. So LifterLMS Widgets has a number of different features available to it too. And if I just go to a lesson sidebar, I'll get rid of all of this stuff. The LifterLMS course syllabus. This is a dynamic widget. I'll explain that in a bit. That one I'll leave. And this one here, I'll delete it as well. It's for another purpose. Alright, so basically now we have widgets. So what I'll do is I'll take my widgets and I'll throw them into the lesson sidebar. So I have my achievements. So my achievements widget. I have a widget for related courses, and we'll add that into the lesson sidebar as well. That's pretty handy for upselling to other courses, upselling other courses. Then we have our certificates, which I haven't got any, so it's going to say I don't have any, but and I also do have a student notes widget, which we can add, so why not? And that will leave as just notes. We'll call them my notes. And so if you don't want to use student note shortcodes, you can use widgets. And if you do have XAPI installed, you can also add competencies, which is another widget. And that would be the competencies the student has earned going through their e-learning courses. And then we have Resume Lesson. Resume Lesson is a widget that what I'll do, I'll actually not put that here. I'll put that on the primary sidebar of the site. So my resume lesson, this one's pretty powerful. It's you know, LifterLMS has its continue button, which some people put in their site. But what resume continue button forces you to go to a specific course. So this is the difference with this one. Resume where I left off. So and that's just the text I've decided to give it. So my resume button, what it does, it goes to the last lesson that you visited. Sorry, it goes to the next available lesson after the last lesson that you visited. So let's go ahead and let's go to the front of the website where we'll see the primary sidebar. and if I click on here, resume where I left off, it's now going to jump to the last lesson I was in, which was the next incomplete lesson. And there it is there. Now here's the other widgets. So I haven't earned achievements. There's some courses that I might also like. All the way down here, there's quite a few of them. So these ones here have no featured images, and they're cloned courses. These ones do have the featured image. This one, then I have my certificates, and I do have a certificate that I've earned. So it's a test certificate, and I open it, and there it is. It's earned. Hot diggity dog. Then I have my student notes down here, and when you use the widget for student notes, it basically gives you all my notes as well as the student notes together. Then I have, if you have LifterLMS XAPI, we have competencies that are related, that are on a lesson by lesson basis. So you can open and close all the competencies just as if they were a LifterLMS syllabus outline. So that's that one. Now finally, one last little thing. I'm going to add a new I'm going to add a new widget into here. Actually, yeah, I'm going to add a new widget into here. So LifterLMS BackPack has a dynamic widget creator. So I'm going to call this widget office hours, and I'll just put in something. And if you have LifterLMS XAPI, you can even put e-learning into the widget. So what I'll do, I'll just add this widget. Now if you clone these widgets are dynamic, meaning they're not native to the widgets, to the WordPress widgets area, so you can't really copy them from one area to another. So when you clone a course, these widgets will not clone. So you'll clone a course and then you'll add a new widget each time, and that's kind of the whole idea. They're supposed to be specific to this post only. So here I have got to go way down so we can see the widget, and there it is there. Now if I want to manage the location of this widget, I can do that. I can do it. I can move it up the bar, up the sidebar. So we were in the lesson sidebar. So there's the office hours widget. So what I'll do, I'll just move it up to the top. And again, it's only valuable for that one lesson. It's not going to show up anywhere else. So if I go back to my courses and I go back into that course, and I go back to that lesson, which I think was this one. No, it wasn't this one. So I'll go to the next lesson. And this was it, I believe. Nope, not this one. The next lesson. Maybe it was on the first lesson. Let me go back to the course. I forgot where I put the widget. It's probably in the first lesson of the course. I don't even know where I put the widget now. Okay, I'll make one for this lesson. I'll put it at the top. So let's edit the lesson. We'll create a widget called My Widget. And of course I can do all kinds of things with styling of it and all of that in it. I can change the text color and make the make it into various sizes and such. And we can add other widgets into here as well. We can just keep on adding dynamic widgets, as many as we like. We don't, and it's just a matter of typing it in. And if we do edit a widget, we can edit it here as well. I don't have an edit button, there's no need, you just edit it. And then just update your lesson. So we'll view this lesson, and you'll see the widget at the bottom. I'll also go to Appearance and forget it. So now this widget's going to be down at the bottom. And there it is there. The original widget and its edited and its edit. And I'll simply go to Widgets, go to the lesson sidebar, and I'll move that widget to the top, and it'll move to the top of this lesson. So there's my widget. Drag it to the top. No need to save, just reload the page and it'll be up here where you see my achievements. And there it is there. So that's a number of different things that are available in LifterLMS BackPack 1.3.0. Student notes, by the way, are also able to be viewed, responded to, edited here. And if we go back to BackPack, Field Manager. Field Manager gets some new stuff. So we now have in Field Manager in 1.2.0 we had the registration fields where you could enable the section title or not, and now we have the enable in account, which is the edit account page. So if we configure Field Manager, we now will get to have edit account in the menu, and whatever we put in as whatever we create as fields here. So for example, I will my paragraph field, good enough, and my paragraph field can also be shown in reports and also exported, whatever information the student enters. And that's all. Well, I've got another one down here, but sure, detail, that's good enough. And then show in report. I then save this, and now if I go to LifterLMS reporting, you will see that I have now the edit account fields right here added in. These ones here come from the original registration fields. So these are all exportable as well and everything. So it's pretty cool, some really neat things going on, and I've got still about 15 more items that I'll be adding into BackPack. Skip the dashboard. Oh, styling the student dashboard. I've done a modification here to styling the student dashboard, so that the student dashboard itself, in the past I didn't really like the way I was creating the course panels. So right now if you look, I mean, it's not pretty, but hey, I'm no designer, that's for sure. So the course panels right now, instead of doing a percentage of width, what I'm doing is I'm allowing you to I'm actually rewriting the LifterLMS classes in order to give you up to 4 columns wide of courses. And of course I can even increase that to 8 if I want, or anything I want. But you have to ask for it if you own BackPack. You can just fire me a support mail, and in that support mail just ask, can you increase the number of columns to 8 or whatever you want. And that's kind of what happens with BackPack. Beyond that, everything else is the same in the customizer, where you can turn on or off whole sections and stuff like that. So no problems there. No changes there. Oh, and I think what I will do is I'll make my courses 1 column wide, just so we do have a nice change or a different change. I'll then publish that, and I'll go back to BackPack by clicking the X button. That'll take me back to BackPack. While that's happening, I'll just head back to my dashboard, where you'll see that the courses are now 1 column wide. So lots of stuff going on there. And then within all of this, we can turn all of this on and off as we were able to in the past with the previous version of BackPack. Beyond that, the Voucher Login. Oh, the Voucher Login does have a redirect for people who are not a student. So if somebody were to just log in without a voucher code, what would happen is you could direct them to a different page, and then just save that, and it'll happen automatically. That's about it. Thanks very much for your time.